What's going on, YouTube? It's the Bushy Beard, and I'm back, and I'm bushier than ever. And right now, we got spoken word. We're doing Almost Saved. I've heard this one before. It's one of my favorite of all time, and I want to share it today with you. So I know it is what it is. You know, it's not going to be the biggest view getter, but I love it, and this channel is about my mental health as much as it is about entertaining everybody else. So don't forget, we have the fundraiser going on. So if you have a few bucks, please consider donating if you can. It goes to a good cause, and I'll eat hot chocolate. So the spiciest chocolate, to be exact. Anyways, also know that none of the winners have come forward and DM'd me. So if you still want a chance at winning, or not a chance, if you want your winnings, please DM me. Let me know your address and your name so I can get it shipped out. I got everything ready. The new coffee has come in, and I'm ready to ship it out. So yeah, go ahead and do that for me, please. Or we'll just move on to the backups. You have till Tuesday. So here we go.
One of the most dangerous terms in English diction. If it could be translated into audio, it would sound like from the saxophone of Lisa Simpson. Two words designed and strategically combined to form the biggest oxymoron in the history of mankind. Almost. But see, as far as the world's concerned, you could live your life foul and could almost get away with murder if you have a nice smile.
O.J. Simpson, right? No, I'm joking. You know, this is, it has a really good message. It's a Christian message for sure. But, yeah, you know, almost is a very powerful word. And, yeah, it can be misused. So
you could almost meet folks just to almost sleep around and stop at your local clinic. Well, you almost had a child. See,
almost had a child. That's a touchy subject these days. It's talking about abortion there, so it's a touchy subject.
Local clinic, well, you almost had a child. See, almost is no stranger to Satan. Here's proof. He only tells lies when they're almost the truth.
And that is the best line I think I ever heard. Is, you know, Satan, the devil, is going to lie to you, but it's going to sound almost the truth. He'll use just enough information, just enough truth to make you believe the whole thing, that what you're doing is good, that what you're doing is necessary, but he's going to add just that little bit more where it's going to be a lie. So he's going to say, you know, you really could, you know, go to wherever. You could do this, you could do that. You really could, and it's not going to hurt you that bad. Or it's not going to get God mad at you that much. Or you could always just ask for forgiveness later, which is, it's almost the truth. You can always ask for forgiveness, and God will always hear it. But God also wants a change in behavior. And so if you're going to continue to do the same behavior over and over and over and over, it falls on deaf ears after a while. I think, I'm not 100% sure how many times God's going to forgive us. I'm not a biblical scholar. I did go to school for a while for theology, but did not finish it. So not the brightest person when it comes to it. But, you know, I believe that God will always forgive. But the biggest thing is a change of heart. And it's like when people apologize, look, you don't have to tell me you're sorry. The best apology is a change of action. So don't do it again.
See, almost is no stranger to Satan. Here's proof. He only tells lies when they're almost the truth, and it's amazing. In our incompleteness, we find complacence. But if almost is one of Lucifer's many traits, then we are inadvertently good at Satan impersonations. But on the contrary, Christ did his job fully, and he proved he was God when he died on the cross like it was his duty, and to pardon my iniquities that I committed rudely. He resurrected from the grave just to tell death to excuse me.
Also very, very good. The fact that, again, God would send down his only son to die for us, who we don't deserve it. We don't deserve to be forgiven. We don't deserve any of this. Is an amazing truth, and because of that, we are saved. If you believe Jesus is your Lord and Savior, you're going to be saved, and you're going to go to heaven, and you're going to be able to do and spend eternity with God. And hell has this preconceived notion that it's just a burning fire pit. I believe that's true, but I also believe that's not the worst part of it. The worst part is you're going to be able to watch everybody be in heaven and enjoy being with God, and you're not going to feel his presence, and that's going to be the biggest punishment, I believe. And it's gonna be yeah.
But excuse me, this is your life, and that's something I can't impose on. But your body is God's home, which wasn't loaned to get foreclosed on. See, an almost Christian looks right but lives wrong. Can't stand the conviction in Romans, so they sit down to be comforted in Psalms.
Psalms is an uplifting Bible, a book in the Bible, for those that don't know. And Romans has more of the conviction about changing who you are and being a better person. And so it's some people try to skip over it and go back to Psalms.
Romans, so they sit down to be comforted in Psalms. Never understood worship, but love to sing songs like I surrender all. Most. Because it's far too expensive for you to spend your life on something that doesn't appeal to your five senses. See, nowadays Christianity's like a Louis rag. No functional use, but we just rock it because it's stylish.
And I mean, that's the truth. If we as humans would rather appeal to our five senses are a sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch, because we believe that's real. If we can do any of that to something, it's real. And that's why it's so difficult to believe in God and have faith, because it's one of those things that we can't see. I mean, we can see his words, we can see the Bible, but we can't see God. And so it's one of those things that you have to have faith, and without faith, you're lost.
No functional use, but we just rock it because it's stylish. Not righteous, but right-ish. So now all God sees is a pile of Ishmaels when he intended for Isaacs.
Ishmael and Isaac. So in the Bible, Abraham was promised to have a son, and that his line would live on forever. And as he got older, his wife, I believe his wife was named Sarah. It might have been Rebecca. I think it was Sarah. Not 100% sure. But his wife was older and was getting, I believe at the time, was past childbearing age. and are getting very close to it. And so he was like, we're trying, it's not working, so God must have wanted me to do this. And so his wife brought the servant to sleep with him. And the servant had a son named and they named him Ishmael. I believe Ishmael and Isaac. I'm pretty sure I'm getting this right. And so Ishmael was they had Ishmael, and God said, no, that's not what I intended to happen. And he still blessed Abraham anyways, and Abraham had another son with his wife named Isaac. And so Isaac is the path, the descendant path of Abraham was supposed to have, and Ishmael was and that's where that line is. So Ishmael came from Abraham taking matters into his own hands and not listening to God, where Isaac came from a godly place, is what the book is about. Is what that line was about.
And we're moved by how we feel, so we're saved when we feel like it. So technically we've never really been saved, we merely tried it. So no wonder why we're never sold out when we return it after we buy it now. Let me break it down, because you need to beware that your life could lack the very standards that need to be there. Because on that final day of judgment, while God's receiving his heir, will he say, son, well done, or medium rare? Because even by worldly standards, it'd be highly insane for you to start spending all of your money days before you almost get paid. Like parents, you wouldn't send your kids to a school that's almost safe. And ladies, would you really date a man who claims he's almost straight? Thing about God that we all try to get around, but his standards are like between two mountains, no middle ground. So a halfway life is unprofitable to you, because after all the Sunday services, Bible studies, and prayer meetings, and everything that goes between, God will say, I never knew you. But that's not even...
If you live one way, and that's you're portraying that you're a Christian, you know, there was a really big spoken word. I think it will be the next one I do. I'm trying to remember it. I don't remember the title, but he talks about that. He's like, if you're not all in, then you might as well not be in at all.
Say, I never knew you. But that's not even the worst part of living your life as neutral. It's that you were once Arctic, but it's your warmness that is causing him to spew you. And this is the very thing that had me. I was bound and held down by the unforgiving gravity of my spiritual reality. I was a Christian, or at least I portrayed the fantasy, with a filthy personal life. But God bless you, brother. How you doing, sister? Personality.
When you're portraying something but you're not truly that, which is what he's kind of describing here, then you're not going to truly be for Christ. You're either all for it or you're not at all. There's no middle ground. We're going to fall short all the time. But if you're just portraying something, but then when you're not at church, you're doing whatever you want, then you're not part of the body of Christ.
Personal life, but God bless you, brother. How you doing, sister? Personality. I was a male enveloped by guilt because I was stamped a sinner. I said I was a male enveloped by guilt because I was stamped a sinner. My message couldn't be received because I didn't represent the sender, yet I was almost delivered. Till that one day that I totally, absolutely, and completely surrendered, I took heed to a modern prophet who proclaimed it was time for change. Now I'm no longer bound to sin, point blank, off the chain. You could ask Umar Abdul Muttalib.
I don't know who that is.
You could ask Umar Abdul Muttalib. He'll tell you the same. You don't almost go to jail when you almost blow up a plane. Like you
Oh, I think it was the 20th bomber.
don't almost go to hell when you almost get saved. Despise the cross that he was slain and thus the cause in which he came. But don't worry, I'm almost done. But before I leave this stage, we have all worked in sin and death was minimum wage. I said, we've all worked in sin and death was minimum wage. But if it wasn't for Christ, we would have almost got paid.
Very good. I love spoken word. It is absolutely beautiful. And then when it's delivered the way this was delivered, it hits you even harder. So I hope y'all liked it as much as I did. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you didn't, you can give it a dislike. It's not going to hurt me. Or you can give it a like because it's not going to hurt you. But yeah, please subscribe if you're new. And as always, until next time, YouTube, smile like you mean it from the Bushy Beard.